Welcome to Hourglass Workshops and Conversations with Nancy and Cheryl. We're back. Can you believe it? It's been a while. I'm Nancy Burns, and I am an acupuncturist in San Jose, California.
And I'm Cheryl Seavey. I'm a writer and a blogger in Los Gatos, California, and I'm actually writing again and blogging again. So,
woohoo!
I feel like I drowned in that long gray winter.
Oh my goodness, was
yeah.
that just the worst? It
Yeah.
felt like it was going on forever.
It did. And, and I think my mood, I was kind of in a funk for a while. And then all of a sudden the sun came out and I started digging out and doing some new things and feeling really good. Yeah. How about you, Nancy?
Yeah, it's been wonderful. I've just been so thrilled with all the beauty and the flowers. You talked about the super bloom, and I thought, what a great term that is, because that's really what's happened. And anybody who's out walking around knows how, or driving, anybody who's unconscious realizes how gorgeous everything looks right now. Everything's in bloom.
Yeah.
Which I guess is not so good for people with allergies, but at least they can appreciate how pretty things look through their watery eyes.
That's so true. You can always tell who's allergic when you go, oh my gosh, the trees are all in bloom. The acacias are big, bold, and beautiful, and they go no, and then
Yeah,
their allergies.
I know, you come out and take a nice big breath and then sneeze for 10 minutes.
Yeah. So the upside of blooms, but anyway, so what do we want to talk about today?
Just pretty much checking in what we've been doing. We both spent an awful lot of time the beginning of this year, both talking about and doing our cleaning up, getting rid of clutter, decluttering, blah, blah, blah. Well, I now am really appreciating all the stuff I got rid of because I have space, and I just redecorated the family room, and I love the way it looks. And going out to garden has been so nice because all the junk is out of there, all the weeds and everything. And I'm getting ready to start my tomatoes and herb garden. And it's just so pleasant after doing all that tedious work.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, will I ever stop my weekly trip to Goodwill,
Mm-hmm.
in Salvation Army? Good Lord, I got to know people on a first name basis. How about you?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm a little behind you in that aspect. We had some tree damage and some fence damage, and we had trees trimmed and cleaned up, and a few weeks ago, I think about 3 weeks ago, and what a difference. Oh my gosh, they look just wonderful. And the fence repairs coming in a couple of weeks, and they'll get that cleaned up. And once that's done, then we'll start some planting. And one of the things that I did this year is I just sent away a soil sample to a lab back in Ohio. I'm sure they're working with the farming community back there, but I sent back soil samples because I've got a couple of dead zones in my garden where things won't grow. And I decided that I was tired of things not growing and I needed some help. So I followed the directions.
That is such a smart idea.
Yeah.
I think we all have those little problem spots. Or I have a problem with herbs. I don't know what I do wrong. I'm going to try them again this year. I said I wasn't going to do it last year. Same thing with tomatoes, but I'm doing it again because hope springs eternal. But maybe it's the soil, So I think it's really smart to do that.
And I was talking to a friend of mine who's a very avid gardener, and she gave me that advice. And I thought, it's kind of like prepping the soil, or prepping, like you did a lot of prep work in getting your house and your garden and your yard cleaned up. And and that's what I'm doing right now. And and then we'll start the planting. I was over at the nursery the other day looking at plants and where I want to put them, but I'm not ready to do that yet until I get the soil and get the the environment prepared. And it feels great. It just feels wonderful. So yeah. So
and that note, you just redid your living room.
Oh yeah.
Reorganized it and kind of redecorated. And one tip that both Cheryl and I both did in our family rooms, your living room, my family room, was bring in something living, a
Yes.
living plant, not one of those rubber trees that, but something pretty that makes you want to go in there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you have a beautiful palm, and I have a fern, and it's just adds a bit of life to the room that
Yes.
wasn't
Made a
there
huge
before, and it
difference.
makes it so much more inviting.
Yeah, it
You know?
just changed it up, and and a couple of throw pillows and capturing the texture of the, of
Yeah.
the sofa, and the living room's been like, I think of it as like Granny's parlor. It's kind of it's been the dead space in the house. And boy, you
Yeah.
put something alive in there and you clear out some things and you free it up. And I've been reading in there now, and I've been I had a friend over for, for wine at one afternoon, and we just sat out there.
Isn't that
It
nice?
was wonderful.
You
And
haven't used that room for years,
no, no.
other than
And
every now and then, very
right,
occasionally.
right,
Yeah.
right. And
But
what
it's
a
just
difference.
very appealing
Yeah,
now,
yeah. So I think,
Anyway, a little tip,
yep. Oh yeah, yeah. You add some
bring
plants.
the outside in.
That's right. Definitely. Definitely. So
So
those are,
this, we're going to talk a little bit about savoring the season. Our season right now is spring, but Cheryl had to remind me because I'm sitting here in Sacramento and it's 95 degrees. So I was talking about summer, and Cheryl goes, "It's not summer yet." And I'm like, "Okay, well, feels like
yeah,
summer here." But
yeah.
anyway, we'll talk a little bit about
With this
savoring
computer.
the season, and
Okay.
we're
All
going to
right.
kind of carry that out through both spring and summer this year, because there's so many great ways to savor where we are. And we all, well, maybe not all of us, but many of us are at a point in our life where we're not out working 60-hour weeks anymore. And so we have more time to actually enjoy. And
Yes.
sometimes you need to be reminded to do
That's
that,
right. That's right. So check out our next video, and we will talk more about savoring the season, both the season of the year and the season of your life. So until next time, I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Nancy.
Take care. Bye now.
Bye now.